Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'm Sank84 and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity, where last time we made it here to the Abbey, managed to sneak in and convince them that we were part of their tradition and changeover. However, when we got downstairs, instead of killing everybody off by drowning them, we set them free, and they weren't too happy about that, so they tried to kill us. But after a few attempts, we managed to get through, and now, yes, we've got one last step to go. So, before we head in, we're going to have a nice little nap, have a bit of a rest, get ourselves healed up, and then we'll head in. Water flows upward from a thin slit that cuts along the tiles of the floor. The water swells and condenses when touched, forming an elastic barrier that resists any attempt to cross it. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Step forward. Well, that was easier than expected. Oh. What are we running into? Okay.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Yeah. Let's see if anything shows up. Okay. We've got... nah, not interested in that. Okay. Don't seem to have much option other than up here, so... I mean, it wants us to go over there. Before we do that. Okay. That door there. I'm guessing that holds the key thing that we've come here for. We shall see. Because, the whole point of coming here, of course, was to stop an army invasion.
I knew the Abbey was a secret, but I had no idea.
Crack on the jawbone suggests that a forceful blow separated it from its skull. Okay, so whatever that is a chance that, there's going to be something coming out of it. Okay. Well. Sapphire and scale armor. No. Okay, just scout the area. Oh, more places to go. Okay, we've got choices, but let's just be careful. Oh, why is that changed? Oh no, there you go. Now I can do it. Lodged between rows of crystalline rock, a large fragment of metal protrudes. It looks as though it might be possible to pry it loose. Okay, I'm probably going to regret this, but... At your touch, the splinter of metal begins to glow orange. Heat surges up your hand and arms and envelops you with such intensity as you feel as though you are melting down. The heat spreads to the world around you, turns it orange and yellow, and then white. The ground, the sky, everything around you drips in molten globes and begins to take shape beneath you as if in an invisible mold. You and the shard are the last things to melt and fall, and your addition to the molten pool completes the shape of an immense hammer. The metal cools as quickly as it had heated. The handle is gripped now by two great leathery hands, and the hammer is cooked. Back over a shoulder as broad and malted as a hilltop. The wielder whirls around and heaves the hammer and you are flying upwards for what seems like ages into the airless blackness above. As you spin, you catch glimpses of rock large enough to be a moon. It's close, far too close to the world. The force of the impact shatters hammer and stone alike. The rock is redirected outward, but a section of the front face is cleaved off and begins to fall, splintering apart at the cracks. In 100,000 fragments blossoming outwards in all directions, debris shower the atmosphere, trailing smoke and fire. Below, land and sea are far off, but gradually rising up. Okay, look to the sea. The largest of fragments, wide as a city, barrel downwards in a fiery cocoon. Its size reduces as the edge immolates, but it won't burn up in time. It lands silently in a distant ocean, sending a column of water skyward and radiating ripples that spread like wrinkles in fabric. Then the sound comes tearing up through the sky. It sounds like thunder. Features are becoming clear by the moment as you streak towards the earth. You are lodged in an enormous boulder, falling among other smaller fragments that heat and burst around you on all sides. Beneath you, snow-capped mountains rise up, dotted here and there by cities of stone and Ondraa. The impact would be the destruction of all of them. The shadow of your rock fragment is visible now, getting larger by the second. You are moments away from striking the ground when a massive shape throws itself into your path. The last thing you hear sounds like another rumbling impact, but that isn't what it is. It's a chuckle. Relieved, breathless, you hear two words. Made it. Everything goes dark. You open your eyes. The metal hammer fragment now has come free, and you now hold it in your hands. It's warm to the touch. Ooh. Oh, this is what we've been seeing when we've been resting. Okay. The air around you is suddenly turbulent, spiteful. A cold, damp wind whips your face. Salt crystal collections in your nostril and the creases of your eyes. The floor below you becomes blue-grey and glassy, churning and rolling, and when you fall, you crash through water. Violent waves hurl and spin you. Something slithers around your ankles, seizes you with incredible strength, drags you into the silty depths. A voice sounds from everywhere at once, and the immense pressure of each uttered sends you reeling.
Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury, speak! Explain yourself and be judged.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. Ooh, okay then. Right, let's see. Who you calling a wretch, you wretch? Oh no, sorry, who you calling a wretch, you wench? Right, I was looking for the privy. No. Yeah, I meant no harm. I came in search of answers.
You seek what is mine, what was rightfully lost. Your actions speak for themselves. The battery opened, the forge ignited. You conspired with souls that evaded my judgment, saw them infused into the very thing they had stolen from me. The dwarves sealed their own fate. The forge was meant to be forgotten. And now, here you are again, denying peace to the buried.
The turbulence around you calms. Silt settles like slow exhilaration, and the vast dark seascape beyond the murk fades in. Rays of light trickle down from far above onto a green-gold column of kelp that rises from the depths and sway back and forth in the current. Fish and mollusks patrol them in groups of hundreds and thousands. The nearest pass you with watchful eyes. Okay, right, I'm not quite sure with this one. Yeah, what are the bones of one god doing sealed in the temple of another?
Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken from me. Abidin did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy.
Okay, the least you could do.
The least I could do for ending his life.
Light drains from your surroundings, the kelp forest becomes a corpse of black tendrils, stark and twisted as regret.
I called the moon down to me, Ioni brother. It was against his wishes. He would not listen to reason, would not listen to me. In his madness, he splintered the moon, but it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward that which he would protect. In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself.
Okay, yeah, I thought Belefa and Coldwa, whatever, sorry, butchering it, I know, were the moons.
Ioni brother is their smaller sibling, tiny next to them.
Small enough that the world would survive its impact. Okay, why the temple and the secrecy?
That time has been forgotten now, and so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact.
Okay, but if you slew a god, don't the others know it? Current surges through the kelp, pushing each plant sideways, like saplings in a hurricane, and propelling you backwards.
No! He cannot know! He must never know!
Okay.
Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left behind. He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning. But so too was he devoted to preservation. In those times he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body.
What was he trying to preserve then?
Time has finished much of what I started. I cannot tell you that, mortal, for fear of undoing all its costly work.
So that's why he went so far to oppose you.
We agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly. Not unless there were no other choice. But in this matter, there was no other choice. He understood that as well as anyone. It was for duty that he opposed it. I would have stopped it if I could, but by then it was too late.
Okay. Yeah, let's ask you something
You may
else.
ask.
Yeah, why did you pull it down?
The great conundrum of a god is how close to become with your subjects. Too far and they lose hope. Too close and your own judgment fails.
I guess dropping a rock on their heads is one way to fix that.
True.
Civilizations are meant to ebb and flow. Allow them to persist for too long in power or knowledge, and you invite catastrophe. There was a time when we let our sympathies get the better of us. When memories were allowed to persist that should have been washed away. The other gods could not be moved to act. I did what had to be done without them.
Okay. The Ingwithans.
I speak of what is forgotten. I failed that day, but my purpose was achieved in the end. I will not dredge up the memory to satisfy idle curiosity.
Yeah, and why is the forge meant to be forgotten?
It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truths lie within it. It can bring only ruin. When the Pargrunin came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common beliefs and purpose. Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. You have seen this for yourself.
Yes, true.
They would have destroyed themselves in the end.
Yeah, I kind of see a point from what we know, from the visions that we had of them and all that. They were. But then again, how far would it have gone? Because eventually one of them would have become the victor. But then that could have started again later on, and... Ooh. Okay, I see your point. Yeah, I'm going with that one.
I mourned the loss of the Pargrunin. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve to end so soon.
What does it matter if something's remembered or forgotten? Surely, remembering the past is the best idea so you don't repeat it.
Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher.
Okay. More than I care to admit.
Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember me? How long until I am forgotten? Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. It can fuel passion, understanding, love, or it can create obsession, madness. You have seen it plague many souls in your travels. Consider the old Watcher who inherited unspeakable crimes from birth. Or the young woman who committed herself to Brackenbury for love of things she remembered she had. Or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed his sister. Or the Glonfathen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all the fruits of his labors. They could be free from their burdens, if only they could forget.
Yeah, their problems go deeper than memory. Simply forgetting doesn't take them away.
For some, perhaps. But for many, the memory is all that remains of it. The fires of Cold Morn died long ago, yet vengeance still burns in this construct's mind. What is vengeance but a fire fueled by memory that consumes the soul?
A fun way to kill time.
Okay, I'm glad I brought her along. She's got some really good insight here.
Cold Morn is not but a memory now. If it no longer intruded on her thoughts, no longer haunted her dreams, she could live a life of her choosing.
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna go with, yeah, it's part of her identity now.
So often do we confuse memory with identity. But memory is who we believe we were, not who we actually are. She would have a different identity now, a more peaceful existence, if she could forget what led her down this path.
Yeah, but shouldn't that be her choice?
But I would lose my favorite conversation starter.
Okay. The light flitted down from the surface, seems to focus on Mania.
Would your life not have a better course, Amawa, if the faults of another lifetime were not dragging you down?
I used to think so. But turning your back on something doesn't make it go away. Just makes it easier for someone to stick a knife in your spine.
The source of those wounds is long gone. The memory was all that could do you harm.
Yeah, there's value in memory despite the harm it does.
Even when problems have run their course, memory can be the stone that sinks you into the abyss.
Ooh, I'm not a philosopher, so okay. But yeah, I don't agree with you.
Your past has not overwhelmed you yet.
You don't know me that well, do you? Oh, so you're talking about Rose. Okay, fine.
Wait. Was there something else, mortal?
Yes, the eyeless, the whole reason we came here.
What the world casts aside, I take into my care. A thing may be forgotten, but it is never alone as long as I am here. They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that no longer had meaning. I took them in, gave them new purpose. I did not create them, but yes, they are mine.
Okay, and what's their new purpose?
Some things that are forgotten must never be remembered. Not merely for the benefit of those who forgot, but for the entire world. There can be no second thoughts, no sympathy or stays of execution. The eyeless were born to fulfill this task, though even their creator did not know it. They are single-minded and relentless.
Okay, so yeah, they kill those who remember what you want forgotten.
They do not flinch when called upon to do what is necessary. Kith owe them a great debt for the troubles they have hidden away. They were his once, I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his work on Eora. But he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things behind has always been his way. I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back.
Okay, so you have a unique connection then.
I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together.
Nearby you see a shark pass through a school of fish. The fish scatter, evading the predator. Okay. Yeah, I've got something else to discuss.
Speak your mind.
You haven't given me the whole truth about the eyeless, have you?
Careful what you accuse a god of, mortal.
The water around you is suddenly icy. You feel it sap up the heat from your veins. Abaddon didn't abandon the creatures. You made him forget them, otherwise he might remember how he died.
And what if I did, mortal? It does him no harm to forget. On the contrary, it lifts a burden. If Abaddon remembered, it would threaten the harmony between the gods.
No, it would threaten you.
It was not so long ago that conflict between us led to disaster in your world, and the death of one of our number. Memory is but an image we create to make sense of the present. It carries no truth or meaning but what we ascribe. A slight alteration to it is a small price to pay for peace.
Okay. That's a bit of a choice it's given me here. That over war, yes. If the people here are better off, that's all that matters. Or it's wrong to deceive him. I mean, he has a right to know. But no. No, I'm going with the it's wrong to deceive him. I'm going to regret this, aren't I?
Memory deceives. It distorts. It reimagines. This is no different.
You say that, but it kind of...
The peace between the gods is already fragile. It will not withstand another shock.
Okay.
You may ask.
Yes, call off the eyeless.
On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant.
Yeah, well, they draw attention to the very things you wish hidden. In my dreams, I've seen them swarming over the direwood.
Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Eora, and then the eyeless shall rest once more.
Yeah, this isn't some lone tribe of dwarves. The forge sees visitors from all over. The eyeless will tear the direwood apart. It will never be forgotten. Sea life around you stirs back and forth, agitated, restless.
Even if it is as you say, there is nothing that can be done. The eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them.
And give them a new
They
purpose.
do not stop until the purpose is fulfilled. They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry.
Okay, Kato said they could be called off?
Only if those they pursue are no longer a threat. The raid Sarens were stopped before they could take the White Forge. In your case, Watcher, you are well beyond that now. And if what you say is true, then the Deerwood is as well.
Okay, well, it's your doing. You've got to intervene somehow. You're a god after all.
The interventions of gods seldom work out in anyone's favor. Our touch is too heavy. The world crumbles beneath it. It is why we so often enlist the help of mortals. They execute our wishes with greater care. I have done far too much already.
Alright, fine. I guess it's down to me then.
Your determination is commendable. But the eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck.
Okay, well, I'm not going to sacrifice every life. But, yes, the help of a god would be most welcome.
I will give you what aid I can. I bade the eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Ione Brother. It lies in a flooded crater known as Kairin's Scar. Know too that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it strike, they come to its aid. If you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be able to call them to you. But destroying them would be another matter. I know of one way, but only from the center of the Lion's Den. Only with their master's hammer in your service. If you can do all this, if you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do.
Okay, I guess we'll do what we can.
And I will see you through when the time comes.
Yeah, someone else can handle it. No, this is why we're here. I'll remake the hammer.
If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they did for the Pargrunen. Careful as you approach the lake. When I claimed the eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they slept. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. They will not allow you near. And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
Of course there is, because why wouldn't there be something more? In place of an answer, a sudden surge in the current beneath sends you hurling upwards. The surface above you approaches fast, shifting and glimmering like quicksilver. You emerge soaking wet on the stone floor of the reliquary, gasping for breath as if you'd been holding it for hours. Okay. That was a lot to take in. Fine. Well, with that then, let's just check out, yeah, the rest of the area then. Oh, that's just back in here. Okay, fine. Well, that's handy to know. So that's a quicker way. Well, I say quicker way. It doesn't really matter, does it? Right, are you just different ways back in then? Okay, no, you're the quick way out. Right, fine. Ah, okay, and this one can get me to Durgan's battery. Fine, let's head over there a minute. Oh, okay, a minute. Alright, wasn't expecting...
Good thing I'm freshly greased.
This. Wait a minute. What's going on in here? Or is it just because... Oh, I think it's now changed, so yeah, that's fine. Well, let's open you up.
That'll do.
And yeah, definitely getting the camping supplies. We'll take them as well. Okay. Don't need to be sneaking about. Okay, well, we might as well see if we can make the hammer. Incredible heat ripples upward from the white forge and laps against your exposed skin. The fragment of Abaddon's hammer grows warm in your hands as if in recognition. It's only a fraction of the size of the original, but there's metal enough to create a hammer fit for a person of your size to wield. In this forge, the fragment could be shaped anew. Okay, we'll do that. You call to mind every memory you have witnessed of the Great Hammer. The images coalesce and take shape in your mind's eye. You know every curve, every engraving. Even as a shapeless lump of metal, you can see the fragment for what it's meant to be. The fragment is slow to heat, even in the white forge, and quick to cool as you work against the anvil. Sweat drizzles down your body and puddles at your feet. Your arm grows sore with each swing of your forge hammer until you can barely lift it. Minutes turn to hours. As Abaddon's hammer begins to take shape, the ring of your own hammer against it takes on a familiar tone, one that you've heard in your dreams. With each strike, an image flashes in your mind. It's hazy at first, but it gains detail as the hammer begins to resemble the original. Over time, the image becomes a frozen landscape centered around a crater lake. Eyeless patrol its frozen surface in droves, and this can only be the place Ondra describes, Karen's Scar. The eyeless pause here and there when you strike and look up, as though hearing the echo on the wind. In the distance, as more details appear, you see other landmarks, Stalwart, Durgan's battery, and you understand where the lake lies in the White March, where you must take the hammer. Finally, with the careful etching of the last detail with your chisel, the hammer is completed. No sooner do you make the final mark than you feel a pure radiant energy pulsating from within it, like a mechanical heartbeat. There's an indestructible beauty to the shape and the weighing and the design, but it feels as if this is the realization of the metal's purpose. You take up the hammer and its power rushes over you in waves, and it shakes your body so hard you nearly drop to your knees. The tremor passes, but the surge of power remains. The hair on your arms stand on end. In your hand is a faithful recreation of the divine instrument. Careful with weapon of gorge, they seldom come without strings. Okay. The sound of an argument reaches you from the stairs. Darren marches into the Europe room, arms crossed.
This threatens all of us now.
The matron begins to lumber after.
She's right. We've got to fight together.
You also recognise Adric following them. His shoulders are rigid, his arms are clasped. Wengra sees you and points enthusiastically.
See, Darian, she'll tell ya. We can stop them.
Tension crackles in the air. Darian whirls and cuts. Wenga off and chopping motion.
If she's seen them, she knows better.
Okay, yeah, what's going on?
Something killed a whole crew of hunters out in the wood. Tore them apart like dolls, insects.
Despite his steady posture, his eyes flit and flicker like flies, and his upper lip shines with sweat.
Something like the creatures that attacked my fort, perhaps?
He mutters something to his escort, and they snort in agitation.
I told ya! All we gotta do is get him in range of these cannons, and then we blast them!
She brings her hands together.
We don't even know what they are!
Okay, I do. The gods sent them as punishment for your bickering. Nope. They're known as the eyeless.
The destruction my dreams warned me of.
Gazes distance with horror.
And your greed and recklessness have brought them on us all!
She rolls her shoulders back and bares her teeth at the two villagers. Rage hangs around like a musk.
You burning our village didn't help matters none.
It wasn't my clan that attacked you.
No difference. One ogre stinks as bad as the next.
Okay, this is getting out of hand. Yeah, let's just tell them to calm down, shall we?
I came to offer my clan's help. The White March has been our home for centuries. We'll defend it alongside you.
Yes, your aid will be most welcome. She presents an ancient banded horn in both of her callous hands, holding it out to you.
Sound it anywhere in the White March, and 3 of my best warriors will be at your side. Your battles become ours.
Okay, remember to use that. I'll probably forget, but try to remember.
What's your plan for dealing with them exactly?
Yeah, they're hidden in Kyron's Scar. I'll face them there.
That lake's notorious. Folk never come back from that.
She breaks off, her eyes smooth white.
Oh.
You'll need all the help you can get. I have fewer men to offer than I would like, but the Iron Flail stands ready. Our siege weapons are at your disposal.
The same ones you threw at the battery's walls?
These eyeless will come for us all if they aren't stopped here and now.
Forget it. You're not bringing your army into our backyard. Tell him.
Okay, I'm not gonna go with I know you didn't just tell me what to do. Now that's thingy. But no. Andric's right, we need to work together.
Guess you're right. Won't be anything left of Stalwart if we don't stop these monsters anyway.
We'll assemble and await your orders. Be ready. It will be a great battle. Okay, and the stalwart gonna give me anything?
Ahem. You know, those heavy cannons you fixed might come in handy.
Okay.
Hear me out. Kieran's Scar should be just in range for those guns. You just point out your target and I'll do the rest.
If those things are on the move, we don't have much time. If you're really gonna stop them, take this. It's the best of the ore we've pulled from Stalwart's mines. It's not much, but it's good enough to make the old Pargrunen smiths proud. I'm sorry about what I said before. Just don't take it out on the rest of the village.
Okay, so I can call on the aid of the orcs. Yeah. You can call for the Rakarans. Good. By burning pitch ability. Okay. And okay, yeah. Granted that ability. You may call upon the cannons by using the heavy cannon blast ability. Lovely. Okay, so we've been given a lot of information there, and we've been given a lot of tools to help us with. So,
Yeah.
let's just see. Okay, Abaddon's hammer is soulbound, so okay, we'll bind to that one. You sure you want to do it? Yes. I know she doesn't really use hammers, but I mean, we have to, don't we, really? Use the hammer to destroy the army of eyeless. Okay, that's fine. We'll be doing that. Okay, so they're the two abilities we've got. It's fine. So, yeah, I can only use the cannons once, but I can use the trebuchets twice. It's fine. Area of effect, pierce damage, 100% damage as crush. Okay. Knocks them prone, that's nice. And burn or corrode damage, hobbled, accuracy, burn damage over time. Okay. Trying to remember to use them. Okay,
No
you know
problem.
what? I think with that, we will call it a part there, because, yes, there's not much else to do now other than, I guess, go and fight the eyeless. So, I hope you're looking forward to that, and you'll join me back here next week for that battle. But in the meantime, I've been Sank84, and this has been Pillars of Eternity. Thank you so much for joining me. Look after each other, and until next time, goodbye.